How's it going, everybody? I totally apologize. I've been just trying to figure out which day would be best. I wanted to do today because it's before the Thursday game, so that I'm not getting to it late. Because I'm probably gonna make a post, an NFL post later, but on my Instagram. I'm probably gonna send this to this Lemon 8 app as well if I can upload a video to it. Um, yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to use that. Uh, I just kept seeing it on TikTok. I kept seeing my name being brought up, saying someone's adding you or something like that. So I'm like, okay, didn't know it totally a lie, but whatever. It's, another time. But anyway, yeah, I upload this video to my YouTube as well as my TikTok. So just wanted to point that out. Let's kind of just recap on Wrestlepalooza quick. A lot of people, especially ESPN, gave it a C grade, but I believe it's kind of just a precursor. It was an event made too quick. More or less on the fly. I don't know if it was too quick. On the fly would have been better. Yeah, I didn't expect to see Brock Lesnar back. That's why I had no without a doubt that he was just going to absolute trash John Cena. Because that's the whole motto of Brock was always the better wrestler, more destructive. He was the rated R version of the PG era, if you really want to put it. I figured Drew was going to win, but I thought someone was going to screw him over again. So to see a clean match, that was nice. Cody gave him pretty good honor there because he's been getting screwed over a lot, but that's also the drama that I'm sick and tired of, especially to see the mixed tag team match. I like the fact that AJ Lee and CM Punk, and it's kind of like a dream thing. The circumstances could have been better because I feel like they're trying to recreate the Taboo Tuesday, the Bite This, really trying to recapture that Edge, Matt Hardy, leader drama again, and in a different sense, not really a relationship sense, just more or less just a dramatic sense. It's hard to watch at times because of not because of who they're signing. If they kept CM Punk and Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre all away from each other, that would make it so much better. But in a sense, I just believe they're trying to recreate this real life version of kayfabe, and it's hard. It's really hard because sometimes it's just going to be hard. It takes a long time to get used to. It really does. It really, really does. It's not that if Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins and CM Punk on any given day are the greatest wrestlers right now, the greatest workhorses in that business. Like, there is nobody. And Seth's doing it with a broken back. CM Punk's doing it with every bone broken. And Drew's doing it with a split skull that probably breaks open almost every time. Because well, he has a pretty big skull, so that was a pretty big freaking mark that he got. So, and all that blood that he poured for this business. It's just, yeah, I have a different view on it, and so I like the match. It was a good match. I'm not gonna go as far. I didn't like all the matches that Drew and CM Punk had. Altogether, collectively, it was a good series, but I liked the last match more or less. Because it was the most, like, yeah, it just had everything. I guess it was everything put out on the table. Yeah, no, the women's title match stole the show. That was specifically Stephanie Vicare's homecoming. Like that was putting her. That was what WrestlePalooza was about. So for you to give it a C grade, I think was kind of bad because that was about Stephanie Vicare. That wasn't about John Cena. That wasn't about Seth Rollins or CM Punk. That was about Stephanie Vicare in my eyes, and she deserved it all. Deserved it all. Her and Io stole the show. Best match to me. If there was a rating, 11.9 out of 10. 20 stars out of 10, whatever you want to call it. It's the match of the year. That was a great match, or at least a contender, because I guess there's a few of them. I'm pretty sure Braun Breaker is going to break out into a one. I have a feeling he's going to break out, and even that match kind of is saying, yeah, it's the Usos passing off the torch to the Vision, saying, you're the next dominant tag team. The New Day's doing their thing. You got all these other factions. Judgment Day, Finn Balor's just the master of factions. Goes from the Indies doing the Balor Club to taking Adam Copeland's taking the torch from Adam Copeland and helming it because Damian needed someone like look at what AJ Styles and Finn did for Liv just in that short period. And now look at Liv. Like, she's taking time off because she's probably injured as hell. But I don't doubt that being on the road 320 days of the year, getting maybe 30 days off, a couple of days a week, or a couple days a month out of maybe even a week out of a month, that hell of a schedule. Financially, having to do certain stuff, and then you look at the new age that they are, social media people, always on the go. Look at Rhea, always getting new tattoos and stuff. It's just, each and every one just has such a unique personality, and it's just, yeah. And that's what I love about the WWE, and the fact that AEW, TNA, everyone's kind of almost connected now through TKO. TKO to me is kind of like this middleman, and I kind of and it's good, but it's expensive. I think that is the more of the negative part that I have to say is it's more expensive. But I guess with the industry growing up, I grew up in the Attitude Era. I like this. And to be witness of the PG era was atrocious. Even though I love Freddie Prinze Jr., but he helmed John Cena's the writing for a lot of those years that he before Brock Lesnar. But yeah, it's nice to see that we have almost like a 14A, 18A. You can do it. You can say you can say stuff. You can get away with stuff, but there's kind of a leniency. There's a network understanding, but also the product doesn't dilute. And I think AEW has a hard time just with, I like the fact that it's on YouTube. They get their stuff on YouTube, but at the same time, I think AEW tries too hard to push for the TV standards, and the TV can only give them so much time, where they're also fighting for spots. And I think, that also gets struggling because then you're always focusing on, well, who's gonna, helm us after this contract's up. Like that's how I look at AEW. AEW is a workhorse themselves, and Jon Moxley's bleeding out for the business. Kenny Omega, all of them doing their best, and even Will Ospreay, Everybody's doing their thing, and they're Tony Storm. Everybody's got their hand in the dirt, buried, trying to grab whatever they can, gold, silver, and or just something to hit their opponent with because they just put on this great performances. But yeah, Wrestlepalooza deserves a better grade in the C minus. That's my first thought I would mention that. Let's talk a little baseball. My Braves finally on win streak at the end of the season, which sucks, but you take what you can. Work towards the next season. We're not winning that division. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. You can't blame them. Move on. It's our day off too, so I'm not gonna even. Yeah, we're 84 losses. We're not getting Mets are second. No. So shout out to one of my old teachers, Colin. Uh, yeah, Mr. We'll call him Mr. Colin. He's a big Mets fan, so hopefully they make a wild card spot. Rooting for you, buddy. Yeah, I'm not jealous, not at all. I got a World Series in recent years, so I don't have to worry about that. Anyway, yeah, I know. I like the way that it's shaping up for this, Blue Jays and Yankees. It's looking like, Red Sox are starting to fall behind. Guardians here with the Tiger. That's a struggle. And then you got the Marlins and over the Astros. Astros aren't making it in this year, unfortunately, and that sucks. But sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and it's just the way. I had big hopes for Altuve. I thought he was going to be an MVP candidate, but it looked like he kind of slowed down at the end of the year. That's how it works at times. Phillies, Brewers, Cubs, Dodgers, Padres. Yeah, maybe my Mets make it in. We'll see. It's looking fine. I like it. It's looking good. Let's yeah. So that's the World Series. We'll see what happens in a couple of weeks. WNBA. Let's get to that. Aces. Oh, give me a sec. I thought I saw the Fever and Aces. It looks like it's the second game series tied. Mercury and Lynx games are tied again. So we'll see what happens. That's coming Sunday and tomorrow. So yeah, the Lynx and Mercury is tomorrow. The Aces and Fever are Sunday. So we'll see what happens there. Fever are doing good without their big stars, but we'll see what happens. It's hard. It's a tough spot to be in. MLS, the playoffs, of course, is going to be shaping up, but it's still all the normal teams. Columbus and Chicago Fire holding down the wild card spot for the East. Philadelphia is holding on to the top spot in the East there. San Diego, they're holding on to that top spot, and of course Colorado and Dallas are on the wild card spots. So we'll see where we go. We still got like a month left. Let's not get too feisty there. Let's just hold up on that. Because we're gonna have to get to NFL here in a bit and some college football, but we have to get to see it and some CFL. But we have to also get to some Champions League. The past week, I got to a couple of games. So let's just go run through the games again. Arsenal beat Atletico Club. PSV lost to Union St. Gilloise. The Royal Union SG. I'll just call them to not totally kill that name. Juventus and Dortmund came out with a crazy game, a 4-4 draw, which you never see Dortmund do that, but Dortmund's pissed about a few years ago, so I don't blame them. Real Madrid beat Marseille. Marseille, though, did beat my Paris Saint-Germain I think on the road. So yeah, they my PSG lost on the in Marseille Stadium. But yeah, Real Madrid, of course, got a red card. Real Madrid have to go to Kazakhstan, so we'll see where that goes in the game number two. We'll list out the games that's coming here, and we'll because I'll get to the games after they play next. No more of this. That was the first time because it was 3 days. I'll get to the games after they play and for the next for now on for the rest of the campaign. But yeah, let's. Quarbeg came out with the big upset win over Benfica, and I am absolutely stunned that the uh, Azerbaijani or whatever. Sorry if I mispronounced it. Uh, yeah, they totally shocked me. Totally beat the Portugal side. Yeah, Tottenham beat Villarreal. Olympiacos and Pafos drew 0-0. Slava Prague and the Czech and the Norwegian Bodo Glimt, they drew on a 2-2. Inter Milan beat Ajax, the Netherlands, Dutch, uh, in a clean sheet. Bayern Munich beat Chelsea 3-1, which is crazy. And Liverpool and Atletico Madrid came out with a 3-2. Liverpool with a 3-2 victory over Atletico Madrid there. That was a close one. They almost drew it. Paris Saint Germain with a 4-0 win over the Goddesses at Atalanta. They were in a good position. It could have been worse. There was a lot of times they were called back. I saw that game. That was a very tough game for Atalanta. Club Brugge beat Monaco 4-1. Copenhagen and Leverkusen drew. Frankfurt beat Galatasaray, the Turkish team, 5-1. Manchester City over Napoli with a 2-0 draw or win. Barcelona beat Newcastle, and then Sporting CP beat Karat in a big 4-1 win. So we'll talk here. So these are the games for September 30th and October 1st, because it's going to come next week, and we're going to talk, and I'll touch more. But these are the games. This is Atalanta versus Club Brugge, Karat versus Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid versus hosting Eintracht Frankfurt, Chelsea hosting Benfica, Inter Milan hosting Slava Prague, the Norwegians Bodo Glimt hosting Tottenham, Galatasaray, the Turkish, hosting Liverpool, Marseille hosting Ajax, Pafos hosting Bayern Munich, the Cypriot team hosting Bayern Munich. So that one's very, very large. Like, probably the over-under is probably like 6 or 7 goals or something like that. Quarbeg hosting Copenhagen, Union St. G hosting Newcastle and United, Arsenal hosting Olympiacos, Monaco hosting Man City, Bayern Leverkusen hosting PSV Eindhoven, another Dutch team, for Dortmund hosting Athletic Club, Barcelona hosting my Paris Saint Germain, Napoli hosting Sporting CP, the Portuguese, and Villarreal hosting Juventus. We'll probably touch more on that. We'll see what happens. This is the first of Europa as well. Let's just get to the games. They looks like they played already. So yeah, they'll be playing September today. Yeah, so good. I got to it. The first of the games here. Midland beat Sturm Graz. The Greek Thessalonica PAOK drew with the Israeli Maccabi Tel Aviv. Red Star Belgrade drew with Celtic. Dynamo Zagreb drew with beat the Turkish Fenerbahce. Malmo lost to Ludogorets, the Bulgarian. Roma beat Nice. Nottingham Forest drew with the Spanish Real Betis. Braga beat Feyenoord. Freiburg, the German FC Freiburg beat Basel, the Swiss. Romanian FC, I gotta say this right. Stade Breshti beat the Go Ahead Eagles, Deventer. Lyle beat Braun, the Norwegian. So today, the last of the games, it looks like. I thought it was going to be the first. Yeah, so we'll see what happens. I thought that was going to be next week. But yeah, it looks like Aston Villa versus Bologna. Young Boys versus Panathinaikos. Red Bull Salzburg versus Porto. Urect, the Dutch versus Lyon, Olympic Lyonnais. Ferencváros versus Victoria Plzeň. The Hungarian versus the Czech. The Glasgow Rangers versus Gnac, the Belgian. And Stuttgart versus Celta Vigo, the German versus Spanish. So we'll see where that goes. That's going to be good. And we'll see. And so I'll get next week. I'll talk about match day 2. I thought it was gonna. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Oh, because it looks like the Conference League. That's when it starts. Is the second. So we'll get. It looks like we'll talk about the Conference League. I thought that one started too. I figured. I knew. I'm glad I got to it. We'll get to it here because it's October 2nd. Yeah, we'll get to it next week then. So I apologize for that inconvenience. We'll yeah, that was that. Yeah, I figured. CFL, we got St. Peter's Alouettes at Montreal, Argonauts at BC, Tiger Cats and Blue Bombers, Rough Riders in Edmonton. Rough Riders coming off a loss to the Alouettes. Yeah, big loss, 48 to 31. Yeah, absolutely got demolished. So we'll see what happens there. NFL. So last week we saw on Sunday Vikings beat the Bengals down 48-10. Close one between the Jaguars and Texans, 17-10. The Colts just absolutely taking the AFC South by storm, 41-20, beating their rivals, the Titans. Commanders beating the Raiders. Eagles beating the Rams in a very good game. Very, very good game. Panthers beating their rivals in shutout, 30-0 with the Falcons. Steelers coming out with a winning over the Patriots. Packers losing in a touchdown. In a field goal to the Browns, 13-10 in Cleveland. Buccaneers beating the Jets in a close one, 29-27. Chargers beating my Broncos in a last-minute field goal, 23-20 in LA. Seahawks decimating the Saints, 44-13. Bears blasting the Cowboys. 49ers coming out with a close win against their rivals, the Cardinals, 16-15, which is a crazy score to think about. And, of course, the Sunday Nighter, the Chiefs finally win in New York for the first time ever, 22-9, again, over the Giants. Sorry, first time beating the Giants in New York. Because they're now 1-7. And, of course, the Lions on the Monday Nighter defeating the Ravens. in a very, very high scoring game, 38-30. But Ravens, there's a lot of talk about the Ravens right now, so we'll see what happens. The Thursday night, Seahawks Cardinals. I'm going to take the card or if it's a close one. Here I'm going to give you my. If they keep it close, I'm going to say the Cardinals can take it. But the Seahawks have a good team. I take the Seahawks, but not on the over-under. I think the Cardinals keep it close. That's what I wanted to say. I didn't want my words to be skewed. Okay, but Sunday, in I think the Dublin game, the Dublin game at Croquet Park. We got Vikings being hosted by the Steelers, it looks like. That's the stipulate, I guess. Or, sorry, Vikings hosting the Steelers, because it'd be opposite. The top team is the hoster. So it's the Vikings getting the homecoming. Commanders going out to Atlanta to face the Falcons. Chargers going out to MetLife to face the Giants. Titans at Texans. Eagles at Buccaneers in Tampa Bay. Panthers at Patriots in Gillette Stadium in Foxborough. Saints going out to Buffalo to see the Bills. Browns going out to Detroit to Ford Field to see the Lions. Jaguars in Santa Clara to see the 49ers. Colts getting hosted. Colts going out to LA to see the Rams being hosted in SoFi. Bears going out to LA to see the Raiders. Ravens going out to Arrowhead to see the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes. Cowboys hosting the Packers and Michael Parsons' homecoming for the Sunday night, and 2 games on Monday night. The Jets going out to Miami to see the Dolphins in a rivalry in their East rivalry, and of course my Broncos hosting the Bengals an hour later. So we'll see what happens there. A lot of good games. I'm more excited about the games for college football on Saturday. Like, we just got a great lineup. First of all, today we got Army versus East Carolina, is it? Yeah, East Carolina. That's not really that great. Army's probably going to destroy them. We never know there, though. We got looks like Virginia, and hosting Florida State. Texas Christian going out to Arizona State and Oregon State hosting Houston. That's Friday. Saturday, just everything. Like, I'm looking at USC at Illinois, Notre Dame at Arkansas, Duke at Syracuse. I'm looking at Auburn at Texas A&M, LSU at Ole Miss. Georgia, is it Alabama at Georgia or Georgia? Yeah, Alabama at Georgia. Washington State at Colorado State. University of Kentucky at South Carolina State. BYU at Colorado. So Arizona at Iowa State. Yeah, there's a lot. I'm excited for college. There's a lot of good college games Saturday. Let's talk a little Crown Jewel first. The 3 matches. Seth Rollins versus Cody Rhodes for the Crown Jewel Championship. Stephanie Vaquer versus the SmackDown Women Champion, who will either be Tiffany Stratton or Nia Jax here whoever wins, right? That's this is, and of course John Cena versus AJ Styles, another match. Adam Copeland Edge is supposed to be the final match for John Cena. That's what I'm told. Not sure if that is the case, but we will see. Team Canada, like I said, they don't play. They play Colombia. They play. I think. Well, they play Venezuela in November. Australia. That's our next one. That's what I thought. I thought I was gonna say New Zealand actually. Australia, Colombia, Ecuador, and Venezuela. So Venezuela hasn't been announced yet where and when. It's going to be probably in Venezuela as it looks. Canada versus Ecuador. Colombia and Australia looks like at home. Australia will be October 10th. Colombia will be October 14th. Ecuador will be November 14th, 13th. And Venezuela will be November 18th. Which is probably why it's 4 days later, because we're going to verse. But, yeah, so they just also want to show this off. This is our Team Canada, apparently our jerseys for the FIFA World Cup or replicas. I got a whole jumpsuit, or tracksuit. I don't know if they get gold treatment, but if they're the host club, but support your country. If you're American, get the American. If you're Mexican, get Mexican. If you're Canadian, get Canadian. Support your country. You only get one World Cup, because I guarantee you we're not going to get an. If it is, it's not going to be for a very long time. We'll be all probably passed away before that happens. I'll be very, very old before that happens. Enjoy it. It's coming next year. Teams are qualifying. We'll get more on that next time around. Till then, say something nice that will change somebody's life. I love you guys. That's what Pat McAfee says. And it was good to see. And I give Wrestlepalooza an A. Because that was the first event for ESPN. So you should have no expectations. Love you guys.